Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Enjoy this Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Stacey and Company show. Stacey Ericson channels messages from your higher self and other realms. Connect with your own unicorn and dragon. Step into this magical realm now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited about today's show. It's going to be really, there's a lot of beings that wanted to step in and talk with you today so that you can learn about some cool stuff. So thank you again for joining me. I'm Stacey Ericson. Over the past few years, I've become an inspirational medium and animal intuitive, bringing connection to you and your higher self while delivering messages from the other realms, i.e. unicorns, beautiful beings. Today's show is we're going to talk to your guides and transition loved ones and totem animals. There's some other spirit helpers that are with you every single day of your life, but today those are the three that we're going to touch on because I feel like we have so much to cover. So once again, thank you for joining me. I've been able to communicate with animals ever since I can remember. The animal I most communicated with and learned many other skills from was my pony, Pearl. She was an abused horse that my family acquired for me because I had a unique connection with her and she with me. I was 9 years old when I got her, and she taught me all about myself and how horses respond through emotions. I learned to recognize my own emotions and clear thought. She helped me understand the different ways to communicate through telepathy and entrainment. And I know every single show I talk to you all about this, but it's something that I really want to create for you to help you sort of understand that you can do this. Telepathy is the mind-to-mind connection where you receive information about likes and dislikes as well as other thoughts. Everything in the world, the natural world, other realms, and on the other side, everything is uses telepathy to communicate. Entrainment is the heart-to-heart connection where you receive information on a deeper level. You can tap into future events, past lives, other realms, as well as other things personal to you and to them. So entrainment is a really cool thing, especially with what we're going to talk about today. Everything that we're talking about today is on the other side. So entrainment is more of the communication that you'll use to communicate with these beings that are on the other side and them with you as well. And it all just depends on how you are receiving information. And that's pretty much what you have to learn over time so that you can figure out, you know, if the information is right for you and all of that kind of stuff. So I wanted to talk with you today about spirits. So spirits that we're talking to, I'm looking here real quick, you guys, because I'm not very good at keeping my notes organized. So spirit is another word for breath. So breathing. So these spirits actually do breathe information into you. It's really interesting. I was learning this when I was doing some research for you all for this show today. And it was a lot of fun to talk to these beings. So the first beings that we're going to talk about today, and hello everyone, thanks again for joining me. Looking at all y'all on the side there. So are angels. And angels come to us in many different ways. They show themselves to us in several different ways. Hi, Marcia, glad you're here. So they show themselves to us in, as well as all these other beings. They show themselves to us in all different ways as far as, feathers, coins, numbers, rainbows, feelings of tingling, all of that kind of stuff come from, these beings that are around you, surrounding you at all times. It's important to know that you are never alone, even in the shower. Everything is around you all the time. So it's kind of a little daunting at times, to think of that, but it is a lot of fun to know that you are absolutely never alone. There are beings around me right now that are here to help support me in bringing this information forward to you. And that's what we have in the world, are all these beings that help us become and do what it is that we are here to be and achieve. It's really, really fun. So once again, we're going to get back to angels. So angels are here with you all the time. Now, there are a few angels that are with you, a lot. And those are the archangels. And the archangels come in colors, just like we talked about before, all colors. This is something that I really want to express to you. The last show was on colors for this very reason, is that these beings show up in all these different colors. And once you can start recognizing these colors, then you can really receive some wonderful information from these beings. So angels are all about light. That's what they are. They're light beings. So you don't necessarily see, like a person with feathers and wings and that type of stuff. You don't see that unless you do in your own mind's eye. But most of the time they come to you as light. And their colors are based on the 7 light rays, which is the color of the rainbow. So just seeing colors is really interesting for you. So the blue color is for power, protection, strength, and courage, and faith. And then you have the pink color. If you see pink around you, like a pink light, and you feel that it's an angel that's present, that's for love and peace. And then yellow is helping you decide on something, wisdom for your decisions. Like if you are trying to make a job decision, should I take this job or not? These beings are there to help you with your decisions as well. And this is one color that'll show up to let you know that that angel is present and helping you. They're the yellow angels. The white is purity and harmony of holiness. So purity for white in the unicorn world or the unicorn realm means that there's no room for any negativity whatsoever. So it's really cool color to have. Red, which I've never seen a red with the angels before, but I thought this was so cool. So red, they're offering wise service. So once again, you can have an idea or a plan, and then they're helping you with that idea or plan to bring it forward into fruition. Then you have, they may be offering wisdom. So then you have the green angels, which are healing and prosperity. So whenever you're doing healings on people, you can call in the green angels to help you with this healing for anything in the world. And then purple is for mercy or transformation. So when your animal is, crossing over, or anybody that is crossing over, you can ask the purple angels to step in and have them help them with their transformation. So another way that angels come to us is through feathers. I know feathers are so cool. I just love them. I find them a lot, actually, and it's just wonderful, and they're always in a place that is, just out of the ordinary. I mean, how can a feather be, like I said to you once before, I was swimming in the ocean and I turned around and there's a feather floating right next to me. It's a white feather right on top. And it was just so beautiful and so wonderful to see this happening and to recognize that the angels were with me at that moment in time, because I was so grateful for being in the water and I'm experiencing, the blue sky and the weather and just for being where I am. Aspects of appreciation will help you a ton with just creating a better life for yourself and a better feel in your joy and your heart and all of that. So feathers are awesome for this. So what it means is feathers, you are on the right path. Your life is sacred. And they symbolize peace, joy, uplifting, lightness, to let go and travel light. So like if you're, bringing along all of the stuff that you've done before that were undesirable things, you want to just let those things go and, travel light. And that's what the feathers help you remember. And then also to stay above it all, to not get into like the midst of all of the nastiness or anything negative or anything that's undesirable for you or not good for your soul. Then angels also come to us with coins and pennies. And coins and pennies are always fun to find. A lot of people say that when they find a penny, they think it's from their loved one from the other side. And sometimes that does happen too. They leave you a penny to let them know that they're there. But in this case, we're going to talk about angels, and the angels say to keep going, everything will be fine. That's what the pennies and the coins mean whenever you find them. And they're usually really, really shiny, just so you know if it's left by an angel. Then my favorite thing in the whole wide world is numbers. Now, this is fun because a lot of people say, they keep on seeing 1111 or 1010 or 222 or anything that has repetitive numbers. Now, repetitive numbers do mean that they're trying to send you a message, or that there is something there for you to notice or recognize. And you can find the answers when you look it up on our little phones, which I absolutely love that we can do this nowadays, our little encyclopedias. Right away, you can get the information by looking up spirit numbers. And spirit numbers are so interesting. Not everything that comes with the spirit number might be something that is relative to you or where you are at this moment in time. But if you look at a clock and you see 1010, it's really interesting to learn about what these numbers can mean for you. And sometimes it's really profound and powerful. I know when I was in Ohio, I kept seeing the numbers. Let's see, what numbers did I see? I kept seeing repetitive numbers like 222 or 888 or all of these different numbers. And every single time I got, really happy in my heart because I was like, oh my gosh, they're thinking of me and thank you. It meant that I was on the right path, doing the right thing and following the right, my right ideas and living within myself. And so it was really, really cool to see these numbers to help confirm what it was or affirm what's going on in my life. And it was just fabulous. Made me feel very, very good. Once again, you can also see other repetitive numbers. We've talked about this in past shows as well. Like say you see the number 59 and you see it like 3 times, then you want to go ahead and look up that number as well. That's another thing. Your angels are sending you a very specific message by showing you specific numbers. And it's really, really fun to see what those numbers mean. I've done it several times in the past, and it's just been, like I said, it's been wonderful and revolutionary for my life. So then the other thing is rainbows. Now, rainbows are amazing. I mean, every time, I don't know about you all, but when I see a rainbow, I always smile and get so excited and always wonder if there really is that little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, which I think there are, by the way, because, there is such things as leprechauns. So rainbows without rain means an angel is present. So they're there, they're with you. They're telling you that, we exist and we love you. And then the other way for them to show themselves to you is by feelings of tingling. So you can get like a little tingle down your back, down your spine, or you can feel like a little brush up against your skin, like where you're just being touched. That means that high vibration beings are contacting you. When this does happen, what you want to try to do, if you can, in the moment, is sit quietly or just stop for a second and just ask, is there a message there for me? And a lot of times you'll receive something. And even if it's not, words in your head or a song or anything like that, you might smell something, which is what I'm getting to next. You might smell flowers. And flowers, angels absolutely love. They love the scent of flowers. And so that means that an angel is near. Then there's flashes of light, which is what we talked about, seeing sparkles, beings of light are near. When you see sparkles in your eyes, like even if you close your eyes for just a moment, sometimes you'll see like a little flash of a color. Or if you look to the right or to the left, sometimes you'll see a flash of the color off to the right or left of either side, like in your peripheral vision. All of this is helping you recognize that these beings of light, literally, are near and that they're with you to help you through anything and everything that you have. So we're going to move on to the archangels. There's quite a few here that I have read about recently. Now, there's a lot more angels, just so you know. I mean, a ton. When I was at my house, I was learning about angels, and they were coming to me, actually. It was really, really interesting. I had so much fun. I had a dream. I went to heaven and visited them there. It was really neat. But anyway, while I was in bed, I was laying there and I asked for protection. So you can ask these angels to surround your bed so that you can get a really great night's sleep. Those angels that I saw in my mind's eye were really tall and skinny so that they could fit around my bed. But I loved them so much, and it had such a great feeling of just sheer love, just absolute and utter, beautiful, beautiful love and light. And I felt very comfortable and I was able to fall asleep easily. The other thing that I had too, and this is something I wanted to make sure I shared with you, because in this day and age, we're all going through a lot of stresses, and lots of changes and shifts and, unsureness and just, these things that are very uncomfortable. And so at night when this happens, what I do, if I'm to the point where I really am I can't sleep at all, I will ask for an angel to cover me with their wing. Now, I know I told you that you really don't see their wings and it's mostly just light, but if you use your imagination, you can actually feel that comfortable wing just fold right up over you like a big, huge blanket. And then, oh my gosh, it's an amazing sleep. I mean, I sleep the best whenever I ask for an angel's wing. So it's just something, to try to help you guys find something for you to find comfort and to recognize that these angels are here for you to help you through this life that we're going through at this moment in time, as well as the future. Let's see. I see repetitive groups of stars at night. Oh yeah, definitely. That's cool, Belinda. Very, very cool. All right. So the first angel, which everybody knows about, is Archangel Michael. He is blue and he is leader of all holy angels. He oversees the blue angels. Pink is Archangel. Now, excuse me, because I'm not very good at saying, these names, but Chamuel, angel of peaceful resolutions. So pink is, if you have something that is undesirable, that you want to go deal with something that, you just don't feel very, very cool with, then ask for Archangel Chamuel to come to you, because that is the angel of peaceful resolutions. And then imagine his pink light or her pink light. They don't really have, I know Michael seems like he's a he, but he can also be a she. So they don't really have, where they're a boy or a girl. They could be either. Yellow is Jophiel, and they are he's in charge of the yellow angels and beautiful thoughts. So anytime you want to bring beautiful thoughts into your mind, ask for that angel to come to you, and the color is yellow. Red is Uriel, which actually I know how to say that one. The angel of wisdom oversees the red angels. So the red angels are about wisdom. So you can bring in wisdom to make decisions. You can bring in wisdom for, basically anything at all. It's wonderful, wonderful. The green is Raphael, angel of healing, takes care of the green angels. So whenever you're asking for your own healing or you're healing others, green angel Raphael is a great color to bring in to help you with this process. Purple is Zadkiel, and that is angel of mercy. He takes care of the purple angels, and those are there once again for transformation and things like that. So you can learn these colors to help you receive this information that these angels are actually bringing to you, so that you can use it for, your everyday life issues, problems, or health and, joy, whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. You can ask an angel to be there for you. They're amazing, truly, truly amazing. So I do want to tell you, they did leave a message, and this is really fun. Like, I found this to be really cool. And, if you don't get it now, you guys can go back and you can listen to this again, because this is really, really neat. So the first thing is, the angel said, is to find purpose, which is to clarify what you want and align your actions with the desired results. Live with vision, intention, and determination. Then from there, you can learn trust. And that trust is about moving from a place of knowing within you rather than as a result of adaptation to outer experience. Let go of your assumptions and need to control life's creative process. And then from there, you get to celebrate. So once you, achieve these different things, you celebrate, and celebration. Take time to recognize and savor what is important to you and honor it with festivities. Rejoice, have fun, and enjoy the party. So this was a message from the angels that they wanted me to pass on to you today. And thank you so much for the angels to visit us. And we're going to move on. All right. So the next beings that we're going to talk about are your transitioned loved ones. Now, they are always around us. And as you know, I'm sure if you've seen psychics or mediums, mediums can see these beings around you, whether it be your grandmother or, a grandson that had transitioned early, whatever it is, that they're there, they are coming through, and they want you to know that they are always with you. Always. Hey, Dee Dee, thanks for joining me. So what I wanted to talk about was, it's really interesting because they come to us in all these different ways. So first of all, like I said, you can go see somebody who is a medium that can tell you that they're there and give you the messages that they have. They also come to you by doing things around you. So now some people think that they're ghosts, but they're really not. They have transitioned. It's just so interesting because they want to give you a message or let you know that they're there in some way. So I have a story to tell you, and this is really kind of a fun thing. Gosh, I know this is going to be a really short show because for what I have to say, because I have a lot of information to share with you. So anyway, I want to tell you this story because it's really important that you get how they can, the beings from the other side, once they've transitioned, how they step in and they really want to be recognized and to bring messages in some way. So I'm living at my house in Mayaca City, and I live on a farm, 10-acre farm, and I'm walking out of the house. And I shut the back door. And so I walked to the barn. Now the barn's, I don't know, maybe 250 feet away from the house, right? So it's pretty far away. And I turn around and the door is open. And I was like, man, I know I shut the door. So I thought, well, maybe the latch isn't working and all that kind of stuff. So I go back up to the house and I do it again. I shut the door. And this time, I kind of, move it around, make sure that it is absolutely shut. And it's really interesting. Oh, Belinda, I'm sorry to hear that, but that's a wonderful date. Believe it or not, it's a beautiful day to celebrate. So anyway, so I pull on the door to make sure it's shut. And I turn around and I walk back out to the barn. Well, it took her a little while, but she didn't get the door open until I got to the barn because I kept checking behind me thinking, I wonder if I shut that tight enough. And I get to the barn, turn around, door's wide open again. So I was like, all right, somebody's here. But at the time, I wasn't doing the work that I'm doing right now. So I didn't have the idea to ask myself. So I have a friend that she doesn't live here anymore. In fact, she lived in Tennessee. I'm not sure. And I asked her, I said, is there any way that you can come by and let me know who is here? Well, in the meantime, for the next few days, because she wasn't able to come until, like 3 or 4 days later, I think. In the meantime, I walk into the house, the TV is on, the doors are opening and closing. I have all of this stuff happening, like a broom fell behind me, believe it or not, fell behind me. I know that sounds, just like for Halloween, but all of this stuff kept happening. And I was like, what the world is going on here? Obviously there is something or someone present. Well, it turns out that my former husband's, I'm divorced, yes. My former husband's grandmother had transitioned and she had helped us buy this property and she loved the property so much along with me and my former husband. And so she wanted to give him a message from the other side. She has something to say to him. So it was like so interesting. So when my friend got there, she said, hey, there's a lady here and she has like a Marge Simpson bun on the top of her head. Her hair is like wound up on top of her head like a beehive, and it's all black. And she's dressed like where she is it's very, very cold. So instantly I knew it was his grandmother because I loved her and she's a beautiful little thing and she's tiny. And she was from England and she was from oh gosh, I can't think. Southampton, England. And so I guess it gets really cold there, you guys. So she was there. And so we had to have a meeting with her, my husband, and my friend. And anyway, that all got resolved. And so after that meeting, never heard from her again, except for I would see, oh, I forgot to tell you about this. It was so interesting. I would still see her throughout the house, like an imprint of her. And I couldn't believe this because it was so perfect. An imprint in these curtains that I had because they were satin curtains. And so anyway, her face was imprinted in it, and it was like a sculpture. So these are ways that they come to you, but it's not to scare you. It's just to help you recognize that they are there, they're around, and they might have a message, or that they're just supporting you throughout the process of being where you are. And that's why she was there. She was there to help support what he and I were going through together at that moment in time, which was right before we got divorced. And so it was really interesting how she stepped in to try to help with that process. It was really, really, really neat. Yeah, I know. It's so cool, right, Crystal? Thank you for that. So these beings, that are on the other side, that are our true friends, by the way, they're absolutely our friends. They want the best for us, just like we wanted the best for them while they were here on earth. And so they're always, always with us. And all you have to do is ask or notice or wonder about them, and poof, they show up. It's insane. It's wonderful. And I love it, but it's the truth. And nowadays with the earth, like we were talking about how all these layers of earth are being removed, and all of these realms are coming up and being more active. The veil is a lot thinner. So now you can definitely communicate with the ones on the other side and have a great time with it. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. You can ask them for a sign, it's almost like a seance in the olden days where you sit around and you're like, show us, you're here, that type of thing. You don't have to do that. But my point is it's kind of fun though, because they do show up. They do help you. They might, you might get a whiff of their perfume, or you might see something that they absolutely love. Like you might see a flower in the garden that's their favorite flower, and it just reminds you of them. All of these different things to help guide you and let you know that they are still there, they're still around, and they still absolutely love you and want the best for you. And it's just so much fun to know that they are there. There's one other story I want to tell you that's so interesting. And back when I was teaching lessons and all that kind of stuff, like I said, I didn't really acknowledge what I had as this gift. I just sort of lived with it. And it wasn't like I shunned it, because I didn't shun it. I actually gave messages through conversations and things like that to my students, or I talked to people and just said whatever came to my mind. And a lot of it, they were like, that was cool. And some of them it just sort of passed through, and, so it was really good communication. But I had one of my students and her grandmother. I absolutely loved her. She was a conservationist, and she was one that I know that she helped the bluebird population here in Florida. And so she put up all these little bluebird boxes all over her property, and they lived right behind me. Once again, I was in Mayaca City, and just beautiful, beautiful family. And so she helped preserve these animals and all of this stuff. And she had a granddaughter who rode with me. And when she transitions, the grandmother had changed into the granddaughter's guide. And so this is what we're talking about now, is that you have these guides that are on the other side to help you. You have a doctor guide, you have a joyful guide, you have a protector guide, you have all these different guides. You guys can research this on your own. It's really interesting, and some guides come and go. Like say your doctor guide is there for you at a certain time, but say you need like an expert doctor or some other type of doctor guide who comes in and helps you with the issue and problem that you have, and then they leave. And then you go back to your original one, or maybe that one stays because now you need that doctor guide instead. This is how I understand it to be, just so you know. So when these beings, or when our loved ones transition to the other side, they are able to become guides. So this grandmother became a guide for her granddaughter. Now, I'm really interested in this, and I don't know if anybody out there can help me with this, but it's really, really cool to learn about. But grandmothers have really been coming in quite strongly. And my own grandmother actually became one of my guides. Now, I have to tell you, I didn't know her, like hardly at all. She was alive when I was little, but that was it. And hardly had any contact with her at all, but I did have a lot in common with her. However, I still to this day do not know, her as well as you would think for her to be my guide. But apparently on the other side, we are best friends and we love each other very much. And so now she is and has become one of my guides. So it's really interesting how these beings do step in and help us once again, even if it's later on in life after they've accomplished what they came here to do. And I guess it's a real privilege to become a guide on the other side. So that's something you get to look forward to if it's something that you want to do when you do transition to the other side. You could become a grandmother guide or whatever it is. That's very interesting. So Crystal says, my grandmother is one of my guides and came in recently as well. I know, it's so interesting. And I just love it that they're there. You know, they go to that crone state, and I actually have crones written down somewhere. And we do need to talk about all of this in the future, and we will. We'll get into more information as we go along. But I do want to make sure that I can touch base with you on everything, you know, somewhat in small degrees, and then we'll go ahead and delve into it deeper as time moves forward. So that's our guides. And once again, they're wonderful. The joyful guides, just so you know, what I learned about when I was introduced to my joyful guide, I actually took a class on guides just so I could get some kind of information, because I wasn't really, I didn't really know anything about guides or what they were. And it was really interesting to learn in this class. And what she did was she did a meditation to help us learn to tap into our guides. And once again, you come from your heart chakra or your heart, you know, that we talked about entrainment, that heart to heart connection with your guides. And you ask them to show themselves. And once again, I'm very, I can see, so I love it. It's a wonderful gift for me. I can see and I can hear. So it's a beautiful thing. And anyway, my guides showed up. There were two that showed up. And the first one was he is a protector guide, and he is an Indian, a Native American Indian. And a lot of times they are Native American, I guess, or they could be a samurai. They could be all these different beings that, you know, are really important in history. But anyway, it turns out that this one I was married to in a past life, and we lived in Arizona, and it was during the times of scalping. Wonderful, right? But anyway, that's what he did. And turns out he was famous and told me his name and all this other kind of stuff. And I had a vision of my own life with him when, you know, in the past. And so it was a lot of fun to learn about. So this is just something, you know, y'all can delve into in time, because it's fun to learn about you and your soul's journey and your spirit's journey and all that kind of stuff with your past lives and all these other things that create the being that you are now, plus the beings that are all around you, because they have been there with you. And they bring forward, you know, really wonderful wisdom and information and help us through everything. Now, the joy guides are really interesting. From what I understand, a lot of the joy guides come from other realms. And mine is a fairy. It's like a little fairy. But she's tall. She's like 3 feet tall, you know, 'cause she wants to be known and seen. So it's really interesting. And she dances and is dressed in green. So it's very cool. And, leaves and things, very natural world looking, and so cute. Ponytails. I don't know why ponytails. Maybe it's because I love horses. But anyway, so really interesting and fun. Makes me laugh every time I see her or think of her, or she tickles my heart, you know, basically like we were talking about, that little tingle or tinge or whatever it is, you know, that helps us. And so it's really, really interesting. Oh, Christine says that Destiny of Souls by Michael Newton talks about this in his book. So there you go. There's some more information for you all. Very interesting. Destiny of Souls by Michael Newton. And you can receive more information there. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Christine. All right. So we're going to move on again into more beings that are around you every single day of your life. And these beings are, of course, you know, very dear to me because they're animals. And I just love animals so much, which I'm sure you all know this, because it's just who I am. And the whole reason why I basically, you know, started this show was to help people recognize, you know, all of the natural beings, which are the animals that we have in our lives, as well as animals outside and other realms that are, you know, associated with them. And you can go to my website, which is raspberrylight.com, and see if you want to get an animal reading, or if you would like to have a unicorn reading, which of course are these other beings. Now, unicorns, you already know this through seeing my past shows. Those are so dear to me. I just love them so much. And they are definitely part of you as well. So it's really, really fun to get in a unicorn reading and to see what they have to tell you about yourself. The reason why it is called Raspberry Light, and this is something I do want to bring up, because it does pertain to these totem animals and just animals in general, is raspberry. The color raspberry pink is the color of your heart chakra when you are in the state of unconditional love. So our animals that live with us, and of course trees and everything else, if they have their heart chakras, then they do have, raspberry pink surrounding them, as well as all beings, all realms, everything, because they're all about the unconditional love. So it says, let's see, Robin says, my grandmother is my granddaughter's guide. I was told by another guide that your loved ones that crossed over cannot be your guide. I took it with a grain of salt. I have always known my grandmother is her guide. Thanks for clearing this up. Oh yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? It's really interesting how people have their own ideas on things, but yet you can delve into truth just by seeing. It's really fun. I really believe that, yes, Sylvia Brown is amazing too. Kimberly said that she learned from her mentor, Sylvia Brown. Sylvia Brown was one of the first people or books that I had read about all this kind of stuff. I have a client that helped me with it, and she actually does past lives. And at the time she was a client, now she's my friend. And just beautiful, beautiful. And I'm so grateful for her being in my life, because she actually did bring me to the realization of everything that we're talking about, and probably helped me become who I am today because of handing me books and telling me that I'm not crazy and that I do need to, learn a little bit more about stuff. So it's really, really cool and fun. So, yeah, that's so neat. I love that, but I don't know why. I was talking to my producer before the show today, and we were talking about how grandmothers are really stepping in right now. And I feel it's because of the feminine energy that we need for Earth right now, because Earth is all about, everything about Earth right now is healing Earth, healing our own souls, our own spirits, so that we can be joyful again and live with this unconditional love and create heaven on Earth. And that's what we're doing. So it's really cool. But I feel like the grandmothers are definitely helping us with this. It's so neat. So, Crystal, I just love you. Yeah, your dog was amazing. Crystal's dog, I did a reading for her, and her dog was all about love. He is definitely the epitome of what Raspberry Light is all about. And I'm just going to toot my own horn here, because this is what she has to say. She says, Stacey does a wonderful animal reading. My dog recently passed, and her reading has helped my grieving process. He was just beautiful. His name was Chai, and just an amazing, beautiful. I wish that I would have a picture of him, but quite possibly, we'll get a picture of all these animals up here soon, and we'll definitely send everybody, the information through that. Oh, before I forget, I do want to let you know that next show is going to be on animal readings again, but it's past, future, present, whatever you want. You can have them in spirit or here on Earth because of Halloween. We want to go ahead and celebrate other spirits. And so let's go ahead and have that with our animals. Now, what we thought might be a lot of fun is to have you send in pictures of your animals in costume. Now, once again, it could be a past picture of your animal if it's already transitioned to the other side. If you have a picture of it in a costume, that would be fantastic. I know my mom has a picture of her dog that I would love to show, because my mom's costumes for the dogs were so funny, and they loved it, by the way. So if you could send those to loveraspberrylight@gmail.com, that would be fantastic for next week's show. I would just love to show and have all these animals on the show dressed up in their little costumes. It'd be so much fun just to, have them up there so that everybody can see them. Make sure you send their names, because they do want their recognition. And you can also send, if you'd like, send one question, because I got inundated with a lot of animals last time. So let's do one question this time for your animal, and I will definitely see if I can get them on the show. I would just love that, though. Thank you so much for your help with that. And even if you know of somebody else that has an animal that has pictures, they can send it in. They don't have to have an animal reading if they don't want to. It's fine. But we just love to see these little guys, and their costumes are so funny. So funny. I have some horses that I can probably get pictures of as well. So this will be a lot of fun. So Christine has continued. She said she also recently read For My Dogs That Have Passed. It was wonderful, highly recommended. Robin said, I see all the fairies around you. I also have fairies around me. They are like children and are so fun. They like your creative mind. Oh, thank you. I love them too. And in fact, it's really interesting, not to get off topic, but I've been seeing a lot of fairies lately. So I'm wondering if there's something to that. I got another bug landed on me today, scared me to death. So we're going to have to delve into this a little more for next week's show as well. But I do want to do the dogs, not dogs, but animals. It could be animals. It could be anything at all. It could be, one lady said that she has a, what do you call those little crabs that are in a shell? Just so fun, right? So I would just love that. And yes, that'd be great. Robin, definitely send me pictures. That'd be fantastic. You can send as many as you want. We want to, definitely have these animals on the show. So that'd be awesome. All right, so let's move into totem animals. So these are animals that are so interesting. Now for me, just a real quick, how I see totem animals, and I mean the animals that are here for you, that are helping you achieve or become what it is that you want to become. So we'll explain this further as we go on. But the animals that I see, and I don't know why, I'm very different than most. I see a flying animal, I see a earth animal, and I see a bug. And I see all three of these with every single person. So, oh, yes, that's it. The hermit crab. Thank you. That's it. Definitely. Wouldn't that be funny if we could dress that little guy up for Halloween? That'd be so cute. Anyway, so these are the beings that I see around people. Now, the animals that I see for you would be, say, the bird. The bird, you want to take on the qualities of the bird or flying animal. It could be a dragon that is with you, so that you can achieve whatever it is that you are trying to for the life that you are living. And the same thing with the earth animal. Once again, their skills, their strengths, their weaknesses even are all incorporated into what it is. Yes, Dee Dee has a toucan, to help them achieve what it is that they're, doing in life. And then the bug, this is so interesting. And I learned about this, I don't know why, but it was really cool when I was first learning how to read. I was starting to see animal totems as well. I call them totems, but that are around people. And the bug has to do with the way you dress and the way you think of colors, which I just love colors. So anyway, so that's how it goes. So it's really interesting. So for my readings, that's how I read them. But this is really interesting because shamans actually believe that you have 9 totem animals. And it's really fun because I was thinking about this today and I was wondering, I wonder how you could learn about your own totem animals, all 9 of them. Now, the 9 totem animals go with these different directions. So there's 9 different beings that will accompany you during your entire life. Let's see here. So I have it written down. I want to show you because I just thought this was the coolest information ever. It says that there is 9. Okay, so 9. So they go with all of the different directions. So there's north, south, west, east, above, below, within, right side, and left side. So you have an animal on each side of you as well. So just so that you can find the animal that you want, the north reminds us to live in gratitude, when to listen and when to speak. The south protects your inner child. It tells you to stay humble, have discernment on who we trust and when to trust. The west promotes trust in your inner knowing and discernment around goal-oriented tasks. These are animals that are helping you, that are in these parts of your 9 totems. East guides you to and through your greatest spiritual challenges. Oh, mine better be powerful. Above governs your dream state and reminds us that we came from the stars and will return to the stars. Below explains how to stay grounded and on your personal path. Within, I just love this one too, guides you on your personal path to that which makes you happy. It's a protector of your personal space, or a place that we call our sacred space. Now, this sacred space is never accessed by anyone unless invited. I don't know about that. Right side, it would be ideal, I'm saying. That's cool. I'm just laughing at myself. Right side protects the masculine side of the body and all characteristics that are associated with this idea. So the right side helps you with courage, fire, force, action, and doing, so moving, and then movement. The left side protects the feminine side of the body and all the characteristics that are associated with this idea. So it's flow, receiving, mothering, relationships, and being intuitive. Oh, just being and intuition. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. So anyway, that was really interesting that they have these different totem animals that help you with this type of stuff. Now, there's so much to give you information on this, because there's spirit animals, there's totem animals. There's so much. It's really, really fun. So we're going to go ahead and delve into some other stuff. So some of these totem types that you can call on are protectors. They're there for strength, energy, warning of danger, and strategy. And if you want to call on lion, that's a great one for that. For teachers, accessing your own inner wisdom. The eagle is amazing. It's an amazing teacher. Healers are for times of mental, physical, and emotional illness. You want to call on snake. Now, snakes are really, really fun and interesting beings because they completely shed their entire body, even their eyes, which is really cool because that means that they have a whole new view on life. And they've shed all of everything off of them and away from them so that they are completely regenerated. So it's transformation, which is just an amazing medicine. Advisors, for choices, decisions, path, guidance, or direction when lost in life, you want to call on fox. Now, you know foxes are really, really good at finding their way, hiding, and protecting themselves. They're amazing. Oh, here we go. So spirit is the Latin word for breath. It's a fundamental part of being alive. So you can say, I approach you in the spirit of kindness. So in the breath of kindness, which is really, really cool. Dreams help recognize your animals you're attracted to. So we're going to go through this. So how do you find your totem? Like, how do you know what animals that you are attracted to? So questions for animal totems would be, have you ever felt drawn to one animal or another without being able to explain why? So this might be that, say you're drawn to, I don't even know, like an otter. Like, why would you, so it's really interesting. So it's one of those. That might be one of your totem animals. So does a certain kind of animal consistently appear in your life? So say you have, I know, a dog, because a dog's always in your house, but other things, that might show up, like a squirrel, something like that. It can be represented in many different ways. It might be, like we talked about at one point, it might be an elephant, even though elephants aren't here in the United States, per se, unless you go to the circus or, somebody that has a pet elephant, then you don't really see them. So you can see them more in different ways, like clothes, sheets, pictures, cards, letters, or you might see a show on them. All this kind of stuff has an animal keep showing up in your life, and that means that you are thinking of them and having them represent you in some way, and being more of a totem animal, which is really cool. When you go to the zoo or wildlife park, what animal are you most interested in seeing? So for me, it was really fun because whenever I go to a zoo or park, I don't really like them, to be honest with you. But I try to go anyway because a lot of the animals are there, believe it or not, to help people learn about them and their kind. And they do enjoy it immensely. And so I go there to see basically anything that is rare, that doesn't, that you don't see anywhere else, which is really a lot of fun. But I do have to tell you a story about this, and it was a lot of fun to see this. There was a gorilla. I was at Busch Gardens here in Florida. And there's a gorilla because they have a really neat preserve for them. And this lady was taking its pictures. And this gorilla was so funny. Oh my gosh. And I tell you, it must have been something with her and, or totem for her, because he was like laying on his side like this. And then he was like, like this. And he was doing like all these poses. And then he was like this. It was really, really funny. And I was sitting there watching this gorilla, and he was like, did you get this? Did you get this? Don't you love this? Oh, am I sexy or what? I mean, just the whole thing. He was so cute. I mean, and it was a silverback gorilla. So they're gigantic and just gorgeous. I mean, beautiful features, just an absolute beautiful being. But it was so funny. So I thought, I wonder if that's one of her totem animals. So it says, are there any animals that you find to be extremely frightening or intriguing? That's another way to see if, it's an animal that is one of your totem animals. Is there an animal you see frequently in nature? Have you ever been bitten or attacked by an animal? That is something else that's very interesting. Have you ever had a reoccurring dream about a certain animal, or a dream from childhood that you have never been able to forget? That's something else that's really cool, because that might be an animal bringing its energy forward for you to learn more about and discern. Are you drawn to figurines or paintings of animals? The other thing that I learned, and this was so interesting, so these are like questions that you could ask yourself about this to see if any of those, to find animals that are your totem animals or something that interests you. But the other thing I wanted to tell you about is, it's the neatest thing I've ever done in my life, and it was a lot of fun. And I feel like it was the first time that I really met a unicorn. And one of my friends was giving a, oh wait, hang on a second. It says, zoos do a lot of conservation work also. Yes, you're absolutely right, Belinda, and thank you for that. They're wonderful. Truly wonderful. And especially nowadays, the animals are being treated so much better nowadays. It's really, really, really cool. Marcia says that bats, turtles, spiders, and cranes have been showing up lately. Wow, that's powerful. Really powerful. You should look up all of them and see what they mean to you. Sea turtles are so cool. Oh gosh, yes. I actually just saw a show on sea turtles and I love them. So Robin says, my daughter has a beautiful fluffy white dog as one of her spirit animals. In a dream, she told me, Mom, this is my dog and he has always been around me. I said, duh. So now I have seen this dog around. That's so cute. I know, I love it. It's so cute. So that might actually be one of her dogs that she's had in a past life, like I said, because the veil is so thin right now that everything is right here, right next to us. That's why we can see things so much more clearly, and especially the little ones. Oh my gosh, they're coming in with so many beautiful gifts, and being able to really see and feel and hear and recognize and actually interact so much better than, when we were young little lads, So I want to get back to this totem animal, because there's something that was really cool that I wanted to read to you. Let's see. Okay, so shamans worldwide have relied on the guidance, wisdom, and symbolism of spirit animals for thousands of years. You can have one or several during your lifetime. They come in and out of our lives to help us maintain balance, teach us about ourselves, and to give us guidance. You can use their characteristics or qualities to help you in your life. So say you have a lion that is really something that's in your, that's a totem animal, which I know is one of my friends we talked about. I was walking with her and I told her, I said, you have a lion with you. So lions are king of the jungle. Lions teach us how to embrace our personal power and self-confidence, as well as warning us about threatening situations in our lives. We learn strength, assertiveness, and leadership. It may also be letting us know it is time to deal with anger, authority issues, fears, aggression, or control freak tendencies. I do have to tell you, I don't know, that sounds pretty right on. But very interesting how these animals, have these qualities and characteristics that can help us, recognize them within ourselves and maybe heal them as well. Gosh, we're going to have to do another show on this, you guys, because there is a ton here of information. So it says, people don't always take the time to assimilate what is being sent as a message. Sometimes they misunderstand the purpose of the incident or the point of the relationship and then have to repeat it again in their next life, which is very disappointing for the animal. But all beings will persevere until the end. Allowing the animal into your heart is the quickest way to learn the lesson. Let's see here. I've got lots of information. So there is one, this is what I wanted to tell you about, and this is what I was saying about the unicorns. So when you are, I had this, I was with my friends, and we all did this interesting walk down a path, and it was meditation. And so this is something that you can do yourself if you want to, or you can actually probably look it up on YouTube or something and do a meditation for finding your totem animal, because you do have one that travels with you throughout your entire life. And it's really interesting. It's there. So there's one main one, and it is meant to be a representation of the traits and skills that you are supposed to learn, acquire, and or embody. They're believed to stay with you your entire life in spirit and or in physical form. So when we did this meditation, I was walking along this path, and it was this beautiful, gorgeous day. The sky was blue, the grass was green. We were walking along a cobblestone path, and I get to a bench. And when I get to this bench, I sit down. And when I sit down on this bench, I'm looking out into this area, whatever it is. And there is where your imagination comes into play and where this meditation comes in. And it asks you, what's the first animal that you see? And for me, it was the unicorn. And it's really interesting because horses have been a part of my life ever since day one. And, well, not day one, but the year 5, because I was 5 when I first met my first horse. And they have been such a powerful influence on me for everything, even my shift in my spirituality. And so I wanted to read this. Oh, here it is right here. So horse, this is what the spirit horse is, what this is about for horses. So it says, giddy up and prepare for change. The horse will teach you to ride in a new direction for new journeys and adventures, maybe heading your way. Alternately, you may be looking for a renewed sense of freedom somewhere in your life. Horse medicine asks us to examine the balance between the instinctive and tame parts of ourselves. When calling on horse in your life, you embody strong personal drive, expression, vitality, and physical and inner strength. So the horse really does describe my life as far as everything goes. And it's really interesting how this is definitely my spirit animal. Now, to be honest with you, I never really thought that the horse was my spirit animal. I just thought that they were my helper, basically just helping me. But because of the unicorn and how relative and very closely related to the horse that they are, and how much unicorns have changed my life, it's really interesting to see that it is quite possibly that the horse is my main, definitely my main guardian spirit. They are the one on top, which is, if you have like a totem pole, the one on top is the main one, and they are here. Let me just read this to you. It says, the one on top is believed to guide you in all aspects of your life, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So for me, once again, that is definitely the horse. Now you just add a horn to it, and then you got it for sure. And pretty amazing that came out of this. And I learned about this actually today. But so totem animals are really fun to learn about and to recognize and to acknowledge. If you can acknowledge them, that'd be just fantastic, because once you acknowledge them, then you can embody their spirit and their ideas and whatever it is they bring to you. That's powerful medicine for your growth in this lifetime. So that's that. Now I do have one more message for you. There's an ending message. And I got this through Spirit. It says, all beings have the information they need readily available to them, meaning all of us. Sitting quietly is the way to tap in as well as to meditate. We all work together as one to create a beautiful world planet. All beings are here to lend support and a helping hand in the process. Understanding that we all matter and are super important in this process is what's important. Then we can become more accepting and genuine in our demeanor. Love will blossom from this process, which is where we came from and where we will return to. So I just love that. I thought I wanted to make sure I read that for you. Remember, too, that we are only human, but we can do so much and create great things. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for today, you guys. It's been amazing. And I'm really going to have to to delve into a lot of these different subjects a little bit more thoroughly in the future. We will. Come January, there's going to be some changes to my show for myself, just because I would like to have just more clarity on some things. But I do want to bring all of this to you so that you can learn, and I'm learning along with you, which is so much fun. And thank you again for this. And we will have the next show will be on the animals. Don't forget to please send in pictures of them in their little costumes to loveraspberrylight@gmail.com. And I can't wait to see those pictures. And you can send in one question if you want me to. I can, see what they have to say, if there's any information for you from your little pets. And thank you again. Have a great, great, great weekend. And I will see you next Wednesday.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.